Fender have decided to beat us to it. Instead of waiting 40 years for your guitar to wear in, they've now updated the Vintera 2 range to include some road-worn models. And in this box is the 3-tone Sunburst Jazzmaster. If you're thinking about getting one for yourself and you want to know how good it is, this is the video for you. So, I'll unbox it, I'll have a little play, we'll take it apart and see if it's worth your hard-earned cash. Oh, that's a surprise. It's in a case. I wondered why it was so heavy. Beautifully and efficiently packaged. Well done, Fender. Let's have a look at what's inside. In fact, let's do this together. Ready? Ready? Oh. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, got some yummy silica gel. We've got in this pack some trem arm and Allen key stuff, but let's take a look at this beauty. Oh yes, Fender. Yes. Sorry, at a moment then. That is light. That feels super light. I think that's the lightest Jazzmaster I've ever held. Although it could just be because, you know, the case is heavy, or it's heavy in the case. Speaking of which, let's get rid of that for a moment. And we'll do the trem arm in a bit. Let's take a proper look at this beauty. My first impressions are that it's lightweight, it hugs the body like a Jazzmaster should, and the neck it's apparently a late 50s, and it feels somewhat C-ish, and it's a little bit sticky. Okay, I'm gonna have to unsticky it somehow, unless it's my hands. No, I did wash. Yeah, stickiness is gone already. No, it's back. It's a tune. So let's run through the most important specs. This is the Vintera 2 road-worn 50s Jazzmaster in 3-tone Sunburst. That is an older body covered in a nitro cellulose finish, and it is relic'd in the sort of knocked about way, rather than completely destroyed. This is a rosewood board on a maple neck. It's a 7 1/4 inch radius, which is very vintage, and these are vintage tall frets. All good so far. There are 21 frets. It is a 4-bolt neck, and the neck is where you can really see the road-wornness. It reminds me a little bit of my Fender Kurt Cobain Jaguar. The electronics and pickups are set up as you'd expect on a 50s Jazzmaster. We've got 2 vintage-style 50s single-coil Jazzmaster pickups made by Fender. Then we have the rhythm and lead circuit, a 3-way switch, and a master volume, master tone, and one up there as well. If you're not familiar with the controls on a Jazzmaster, then that is the thumbnail wheel for volume and tone just for the neck pickup. The rhythm circuit, as it's called, which you get there by flipping that up. You might have noticed that that is not quite in the right place. There we go. So I must have pushed that off, or it came out of the box like that. I'm not a huge fan of the Jazzmaster style bridge. And in fact, when Fender asked if I would review one of this series, I chose this guitar because it reminds me heavily of the Japanese Fender Jazzmaster I had in the 90s. And I never got on with that bridge. And this was the days before the internet and the modding, and I miss that guitar dearly. So this is my aim to finally get over that loss. Okay, let's plug it in and find out how it plays, how it sounds, how it feels. I'm going to go through the Fender Deluxe Reverb first, with a lot of reverb, and start off a bit surfy. I'm going to go full fuzz by the end of this, by the way. I've got some new pedals I want to try out, and we're going to get into the realms of 90s Jazzmaster. And beyond. It's loud without an amp. Wow. first impressions are that this is a very well-built Jazzmaster. I'm used to playing Squier Jazzmasters, and I'm always scared of going near the trem. That works wonderfully just out of the box. I've often wondered, like, when people went for surf, why did they choose Jazzmaster and not the Strat? And I play a lot of Strats and very few Jazzmasters. Now I know. That's the sound I've been looking for this whole time. I dig it. However, clean. We should just do some less reverby clean so you can hear what it sounds like without me pretending I'm from California. Is it still in tune? Not really. Not surprising though, as it's just come out of the box. Oh, it's not bad. I can feel the 7 1/4 inch radius fretboard is making it buzz a little bit. By the way, that's a pop in, pop out arm, as it should be, and it actually does pop in. That's not going to fall out. Fender have done amazingly well so far on their own guitar. This is the best setup Fender guitar I've had for well over a year. Well done, Mexico and Ensenada factory. Brilliant. America, watch out. Mexico's coming for you. Cleans. For clean sound, the bridge is not too brittle and ice picky, which the Squier Jazzmasters I've been playing definitely are. Also some of the Fenders. And the neck pickup is wonderfully warm and round. Is there a difference between the lead circuit neck pickup and the neck rhythm circuit neck pickup? Yes, there is, and we'll go into why that is in a little bit when I open up the guitar. But now, let's kick in some drive. Let's kick in the Tube Screamer Pro Handwired 2 from Ibanez. Expectations are high. I'm going to have to drop the tone back a little bit. I do know the tone knob exists, I just often use it to choose a tone, but now I'm using it because I need to use it. I could adjust the amp or the pedal as well, but I like to have this is my working area, you know? 10 versus about 6.5. And then super off is super dark. I have to boost up the overdrive on that just to hear what that sounds like. That's a great sound. And again, now I know why people use Jazzmasters and not Strats. Let's up the gain a little bit. Even through that grittiness, it's still very clearly a Jazzmaster. Now it wasn't. Now it sounded like any sort of guitar that has a bridge pickup. I think it's not till you sort of dig in on what would normally be chordy notes down here that it reveals itself to be a Jazzmaster. I'm experiencing some of that necky stickiness. It is leaving the guitar ever so slightly. And bear in mind, this is directly out of the box. And out of the box, usually most guitars need some kind of setup or, at the very least, some playing in time. This is doing extremely well for the time that it's been played. It is fuzz time. You might have guessed that so far I'm having a really fun time with this Jazzmaster. I'm going to sum up my thoughts soon. I'm just going to keep playing it because I need to find something I don't like. Okay, I guess I have rolled the tone off ever so slightly. It is extremely bright, but you can roll that off. You can't really add it in. I'm going to switch over to the Marshall to see what it sounds like to not use a Fender product. Now I feel more Nirvana-y. I was hoping to go more classic rocky. Didn't work out. I'll force myself to play classic rock. Don't worry, I don't think the Stereophonics is classic rock. I just had that sound in my head. This is not a classic rock guitar, meaning that, what I mean by that is that if you want a classic rock guitar, I think you want Strats and Les Paul and SG and all the rest of it. The Jazzmaster is so special, and it lends itself to those more avant-garde kind of things, and possibly jazz. But this is a killer guitar. I want to know what's going on inside of it, so I'm going to ruin that perfect setup and have a look under the hood. I'm sorry, Fender Mexico. I just remembered that on Jazzmasters you have to take the bridge off as well to get the pickguard out. Oh well, here goes nothing. Inside, it is a clean job. Some beautiful, beautiful wood there, and look how deep the Jazzmaster cavity is, like compared to like a Strat or a Tele. There's so much going on. That's why you get this sort of plasticky kind of almost acousticy tone at the middle area of the guitar, because there's no wood there. Now there's no conductive shielding or paint of any type in there, and I don't think it needed it because it didn't make any unnecessary unwanted noise. It made good noise. Let's have a look on the other side. The rhythm circuit. Oh yes, look at that big beautiful cap just there. And again, it's a job very well done without showing off with vintage wiring or anything like that. I'm not saying it doesn't need it. I just mean that it does exactly what it should. And at this price point, everything should be very, very reliable. I hope I can get some close-ups of the back of that. I can definitely see it. And to show you, I might have to take photos with my phone. So CTS pots and 50K, hence the darker tone. On that tone pot. What is it on the volume? It's a 1 meg pot. Okay, great. Nice work, Fender. As for the regular non-rhythm circuit. No, don't do panoramic. I need to take the pots out. Well, they're great pots, but I can't tell you what they are because they've soldered over the writing and it's not written on the board anywhere. But they're CTS again, and they're very, very, very smooth. I've purposefully not been very careful when undoing these things because it looks a bit weird that the scratch plate isn't aged at all. Everything else is. Even the trem arm. Now, there is one thing about this guitar that I do not know. I don't know how much it costs, and that's important. The Vintera 2 range is about 1,200 notes, depending on where you are. So I'm expecting this to be somewhere in the 1,300 notes range. Definitely check the links in the video description and first comment for up-to-date pricing in your region. But I can only compare this to say, let's say it's my last Jazzmaster that I bought was around 500 euros, and it was a Squier. And that was a dog, an absolute dog, and I sent it back. I got another one, that was a dog. And the reason being that on Squiers, you often get a bad tremolo system, and then they're not set up very well. This one has absolutely changed my mind about reviewing Jazzmasters because I shy away from them a lot because they're often dogs out of the box. This is pretty much perfect, apart from needing a bit of a bridge raise and possibly a little bit of a neck shim in there and some thicker strings just for preference. But if you are into Jazzmasters or you like the look of them, skip the Squiers and go straight to this. Get a Squier Strat, get a Squier Jaguar, get a Squier whatever, Tele and all the rest of it. Don't get a Squier Jazzmaster, generally speaking. Get this, save up the money longer. Don't buy 3 Squiers or don't buy all those budget guitars that you love to have. get one of these. I've shied away from so many Jazzmasters in the past because of bad experiences, and I got rid of my first Jazzmaster because I didn't know how to do all this business, and I went to a telly, which I'm kind of glad that I did. But had I had this, I probably would have stuck with it, and yeah, I probably would have had more success at a younger age because I had a better Jazzmaster. Don't forget, this comes with a hard case, so that should be considered when thinking about the price. I'm surprised it came with it. And if you don't like relics, then don't panic, because you can't really tell that it's relic'd unless you look. It's not a heavy relic at all. Mainly the work has been done on the neck, and it's knocked about a bit just here. So this is the most, or the least relic'd relic I've ever played. It's roadworn, not relic'd. Played in. I should also point out it's available in a red colour, which would have been the one I went for, of course, because red is my favourite colour. However, I had to go traditional and full-on 50s. There's also other guitars, new Strats, new Tellys in the Vintera 2 Roadworn limited edition series. Check those out in the video description below. And of course, let me know what you think of this in the comments section. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!